Do you have any further questions to us?
Something that has resonated with me. I don't know your name, but you said to me that my left brain and my right brain are developed the same, and I've always thought of that. I've always felt that depending which brain is executing, they pretty much outperform each one, and that also creates a conflict when I have to see the path. So as you tell me, like the spiritual path is opening up for greater growth. um I do find exactly that my left brain is skilled enough to sabotage that. Okay, and then I do find that the right brain is skilled enough to say, no, let me show you. So I've always noticed that since I was very young, I've always said I think like a man, and I also perform like a spiritual being. So I can be very organized and very I find myself very practical to make decisions. But then when the other brain takes over, I can see through a human being, and that can be very painful. And I think we've talked about that. Um, I feel I can see right through a person, and I don't say anything. I just can see where things are coming from or the intentions that they have, and that can be pretty painful. So I don't know if I explain myself, but it's two types of very intense wars. One, that I allow the spiritual to take over. um, Nothing is hidden. All the answers are in front of me, and I struggle with what I see in people. And the other one is when my left brain takes over, it totally suppresses that. So that resonated with me so much, because I think no one has ever said that, but it has always been in me. It's a huge war, and I always said I think like a man, because of the way that I have become a little bit of a warrior. But yet I think how my spiritual life is. And the other thing is, um, all of you are telling me that I have all these great things coming up, but what is inside of my mind is, how do I recognize them? When would I know this is a good thing coming my way? Or when would I play the mind game and say, be cautious, be guarded, slow down, don't trust? And that is what I do. So sometimes I do get both to mirror each other, and I do accomplish great things, but it is not easy. It's having a lion and an angel inside. And so I appreciate what you've said, because I just find that even, when I'm with my girlfriends and I look at them, I'm like, why can't they see things the way I see? Or why can't they respond to conflict the way I do, uh, since I was young? So that's my fear, not being able to see the good coming my way. Okay. And going back to my first reading, that has been the reason why probably I could have gotten stuck with this person, not at a physical level, but as a always allowing this person to come back like a wave, because I can see the goodness in this person, and I look at it and like it's right there. So those are the things that I truly struggle when it comes to me. So with me, I am very subjective, and I think with any other person, I can be more objective and see things more clear. So I think that's my biggest question: how to embrace, because it's easy to say relax and embrace, but how do I embrace when I have a giant inside of me that has kept me safe and successful in my own words, and my has kept my daughter safe, has provided a roof, has provided a career, has provided very smart choices when it comes to my finances. So it's not a side of me that I can simply shut down and say, you don't know what you're saying, because that has also helped me survive. But I do know that I sabotage myself.
Question.
Please
Do
go.
you meditate? Do you meditate?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I haven't been doing it, but I do. And I find great answers. Yeah.
Also, one more thing. You just said the word survive, and every time someone says that, I always say, do you want to survive or do you want to thrive?
I want to thrive.
So that's the logical is usually the surviving, the spiritual is usually thriving. So I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
For
The logical is surviving, the spiritual is thriving. I love it.
usually.
That's a really beautiful perception twist. I really like that one.
Yeah.
I would like to add something to this. So it was Pericles who said that of the both brain sides. So in neuroscience, we know when both brain sides work together, and that's what the Kabbalah has specific tasks, what align these two brain sides. We get more neuronal bridges between these two brain halves, and then we have this theta wave, and that is what happens when you meditate. So your answer, just on the scientific level, is to switch from the right to the left as often as you can, and that's how you grow even stronger in the middle part. That's why I said in my reading, you still look between the dark and the light, okay? But in reality, your part, the golden part, the royal part, is the middle part, because you're in the flow between these two. That counts for the brain sides, that counts for the polarities, and also your spot, your space in the spiritual hierarchy. That's where you are, and that's where all your answers lie, basically. Sorry, that's a very short answer, but that's the first thing what came to me when you said all of this.
And that is, I appreciate everything you all said. I think that's probably something that I need to work on.
May I just? I would take a big pause when you find that you feel like you need to be healing yourself, working on yourself, stuck in this fantastic loop, which is clinical almost, right? And not in the best way. So how do we know? That was your biggest, the big question that I heard. And my greatest answer I can pass back to you is embodiment. So how do we know something? Well, you feel it, you get these sensations. I know that you do. So let's take it the next step further. The right brain and the left brain. Well, they're very strong. Why should they not dance with each other and share the support? The more that you do this, as Guardian had said, and let it bounce back and forth, you cannot do anything but be playful in it. Otherwise, you will, kind of wreck yourself and just be tired or whatever it is. It doesn't quite work. You must be playful in order to get both to light up back and forth. Otherwise, the same thing that would reflect in any relationship that's a big old conflict about to happen in whichever form. So dance in it and ask yourself the question, and then choose to let, here's the twist, your mind feel and your body think. So your body can do the thinking and show you through every cell in your body what it feels like of, this is the experience that you're going to have. It is your choice to embody yourself in any timeline, future, past, other density, other life. You can do that from your conscious decision of just embodying, because it's you. You are the only one that has that pure thread to every part of you direct to source. So dance there. Utilize it. Use that amazing brain of yours to ask the quality questions. to receive the quality experiences. So you will only know that, which then echoes what was presented here, which is the wisdom, which you are, but it's not accessed at its potential because you're not also being playful with it. And then the lights that will shine throughout, of course, then you have amazing things coming through for you in the year because you're attracting again than what you are.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think I've spoken before to Guardian. I don't see it as a challenge. I see it as pure growth. But this year, I see myself as having different dimensions, and so it's my family, my daughter, my lover, my house, money, work, and I think 80% of those dimensions have been challenged. Um, Terrible, right? I have made it through every single one of them. The only one that now might be getting hit is work. Is the only one that has not been touched. But it was quite amazing for me to see, as I observed, as I sometimes try to swim through the challenge, how it was happening what I was seeing. The challenge, let's say, started with my home, and that was the best word that I can say, brutal. And then the challenge immediately moved into my family, and then so it started to like tackle every dimension of who I was. And as I said, I sit here saying, well, the one that is gotta go now, it's either friends or work. So I feel I have two more that I gotta brace myself for, and I don't understand why I've been put through that test. Okay, but I do understand, but I don't understand why into 2020 what the heck opened up that I was challenged. And I knew, I see it. It's like, oh shoot, now my work, and then there is my friends. Those are the only dimensions that have not been touched. And at some point, I even asked Guardian, I said, Guardian, do I have a demon or something coming after me? What is going on? And it was relentless. And it was, that I'm not, it was something else. So systematic. It was just spooky, systematic. And once was ending the other one. And I was like, okay, now there is this gonna have a boom. It happened. And my question is that because 2020, or that is exclusively to me to move into a higher dimension? Am I going into a different consciousness? Is it exclusive to me, or is it because 2020 happened to everybody? Or I'm just a receptive right brain, seeing that everything has been challenged? Because the things that happened to me were to run away, but I did it.
I would say it's a mixture of both. So it's exclusive to you, but 2020 makes it happen quicker and quicker and quicker so that you can further align, right? So it's a combination of the two. I think 2020 in general it's basically, I think, for all of us, wanting us to align the two parts of our brain, because for many years, I think we didn't understand them, and they were not aligned on the path as much as they could be. So I would say, from my experience, times are speeding up, and the growth of the soul is happening faster and faster and faster. And really what the soul wants to do is complete alignment. It wants to put left and right into one direction so that it can be truly happy doing its mission. So I would say both. And to answer before we spoke about the brain, I think it's a big blessing that you have both sides of the brain so strongly. I always say, and what the Guardian also taught me, is that your higher self, your intuition, cannot give you information which you haven't. It's harder for the higher self to give you information which your analytical brain has not seen once. So once your brain knows information and reads books and studies and sees all these different things, it has a lot of reference points. So basically you make it very easy for your angels to show you where to go, because you have done the work, you have studied the different information. So I think it's a big blessing that you have both. And from my personal experience, I have both quite intensely. And the masculine complains when it's not aligned. So the right side, the illogical one, just keeps putting me into alignment and just makes me go over pain and traumas just so I can further align and further align and further align. And it's just happening more and more and more and more. And yes, my story and your story and everyone's story is very exclusive to who we are. However, though, from what I'm seeing in a worldwide event, I think the universe is just wants people to be more aligned. So it's just speeding up things for us to be more centered, and just bring everything into coherence. I would say left and right.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
And I just wanted to throw in there that you had made a mention about friends and career being the last two, and I was like, let me just pull some cards here. And all 4 cards are pentacle cards. But what they mean is the only thing that's important here, is that they are all intertwined, though I see an expansion with it. So I see that there's actually something coming up that involves more friends, and there is money flow along with that. So it feels actually slightly different than what you're doing right now, but there is more friends and more money aligning together in another opportunity coming along. And for the rest, it doesn't feel so important actually. So maybe it doesn't matter and it doesn't have to fall.
So is 2020 ending on December 31st, or is 2020 ending in I don't know, in some other dimension in June or July? The Counsel.
I like the multiverse of it ending tomorrow. Thank you.
Please.
So let's not even think that there is an existence of one in June. Please, Miss Powerful Analytical Mind Spiritual Warrior. Don't say that. Thank you.
Like, if I make it to January 1st, am I like safe? But is it
Yes. Just yes. We just leave it at yes. Yes.
Okay, let's say that, because
Yes. Let's
you know,
say
talking
you
about
decided, right?
the greater equalizer. Oh, I know you don't believe in COVID, but I'm telling you, it has equalized everything, and it has also sent things out of comfort zones, sent things out of stability, and it's been crazy. And I don't know, sometimes I say, I don't think I've had so many problems just with my house, let's say. I don't think I've had so many problems years before, and I've done things to the house like this. Is it because we were all calm and quarantined and held down, and our energies were suppressed, and then something just like went boom and poof? Because definitely has to do with that, with humanity going into some sort of self-reflection or some crazy stuff that I guarantee next year I
medicine,
can stay
right?
there and nothing is gonna happen. But this time everything was just to write a book. So
Yes, but the good news is the bad grid, what created all of this distortion, fault, not even a month ago. So we have a lot of change now, and we have the opportunity to write a new book. See, we have a book what is all white. So let's not continue the horror story, but maybe
but it's
the
in
better
January
story.
1st, right?
Huh?
There's something that a very wise man had said to me yesterday morning. It was that this next year we are going into is the year where, and granted we all know this, but really, 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 it's the year that we create for ourselves. So if any of us choose to align with the other agenda or any fear-based whatever distortion, so be it, have fun with that. It's going to get bigger. Though, if you decide to align yourself with what you're supposed to be doing, right and left side screaming at you, trying to get you into that place, don't let them scream. Dance in that flow and just do. It will all really be okay. You won't be where you're not supposed to be, and the chaos and the craziness of the world doesn't change, but isn't it nice to be in the eye of the storm in the process?
True. Yes.
So go out and create it. Yes, the first is the beginning of everything new. Your first card was the Magician. So decide it so. It doesn't happen to you. It happens because you choose. You will it so, in divine accord.
Okay. I guess.
Good.
I have another little thing what I would like to say before we close up. You said to the lover, you can see the goodness in him, yeah? And I agree with you. You have this divine gift to see the purity what we are all made out of. But remember that what shines out is all the dirt he put over this divine light, okay? It's a great gift that you see the purity, but if you can't rub off the dirt after so hard trying, maybe it's not supposed to go off because he doesn't help. So that is something you need to bear in mind. You can point out something as we do here. If people don't listen and need to continue maybe suffering to learn something, we cannot stop that. That is something what happens in spirituality. And I think you should consider that part, that the greatest lesson is probably the one you could not heal, even though you could heal so many, but the one you couldn't heal shouldn't be a wound. That's why you need to allow to heal that.
You know what? Today he said to me, maybe you see a that does not exist.
Wouldn't that be the case if you're just seeing what's bright and shiny underneath something that he's only the one that's able to clean off?
Yeah.
So
see, that's what I mean. It's you will, and I'm sure you will learn to distinguish between the pureness you are able to perceive and what people make out of it. And I think that this person was definitely your teacher in this.
True. Makes sense.
So it was maybe a painful lesson, but if you learned it in the end, that's what matters, I believe. Okay. On that note, I think.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And nice meeting you, all of you. Thank you for all the guidance, for being so right on. Sometimes I also feel that spiritually, you know what I mean, I'm isolated because not everybody is like that. And that I think I lack that support. Okay. Most of my friends are Christian, and that's a different way of seeing things. So I think that's where my weakness is, not having the support of that psychic component that I know I have it. And so, but I appreciate, thank you so much for everything. God bless you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. And, you know, who knows what the future brings? I think I know.
And nice meeting you. Thank you for letting me meet your baby. God bless you. You're beautiful. She's beautiful. She's adorable. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.